I wonder if it's going to be like the standard, like a very standard CT, just, try to get the breakers out as fast as possible, maybe stim hack, or is it going to be one of those, what is it called? Or Vortex.
Yeah.
Run, check out. So annoying. Because every time I play that deck, I'm like, money does not matter. Yeah. And I'm so happy I'm playing RP because I have Caprice. Because, like, really, they're like, oh, run, check out, gain 12, go. And it's like, anytime you try to score, they'll be like, I'm going to run that server.
Secret tech, accelerated beta test revealed.
Oh, no.
Over.
Let's see how many accelerator tests we have triggered. If he does not trigger it, what are you going to do, Eric?
I'm going to insult the player, as you have seen me do on stream many times.
You're not going to flip the table?
Accelerated.
We're too far to flip the table.
This is a family show. That's right.
We have to have proper etiquette at the beginning.
Yes.
So we can stay. At the end, we can do whatever we want.
Gordie, you've seen him on a past stream. I can't remember which store we were broadcasting from, but Gordie, unlike Ross Freitag, who will be on stream later possibly, Gordie beta tested like a boss, just snapped, reached for the deck, turned over cards, and he was paid off. Ross, on the other hand, heart of the cards, didn't believe that the beta test was going to find him the ice he so desired, and he dumped agendas. That's just how beta test works.
As you told him afterwards, the way beta test works is the more you believe that you're going to hit ice, the more likely you are going to hit ice.
Right.
It's a direct correlation.
It's your fault.
I think you published a theory on this as well. Right? You had a graph. I saw it.
Exactly.
It's pretty good.
There is a formula that explains how likely you are to.
You guys can look it up on the Google. Search Eric Konnick, something about a beta test. You'll find it.
You'll find it. It'll be there. Yeah. I'm curious you mentioned the Au revoir deck. So many of the Shaper decks now I find, are you going the self-modifying code clone chip route? Are you going a test run route to get big breakers out? It's cool to see that there are, as much as I know people say, hey, Kate is the dominant, the prepaid Kate's the dominant deck. If you go into the other identities, there's a lot of different varieties. So we're going to get into the game. We're looking at opening hands.
It's like I think Gordie's deciding if he wants a mulligan or not because he's fiddling with his cards. Like
double daily business show in Engineering the Future is okay.
It's okay, but you also have to be able to afford to res it and res your ice.
True.
It looks like Alec is taking a mulligan. I'm seeing him mashing some cards, and Gordie he's mulligan as well.
Okay.
Yep. I couldn't see the other cards. There was another asset. I couldn't tell what it was. So it looked like maybe he just didn't have the ice and econ early to make that happen, which is fine.
Yeah, it's tough because when you get the business show, it cleans up your hand a lot if you can keep it online and keep it. No,
business show is actually it is one of the highest must trash cards. Yeah. It's like up there with Sundew.
Yes.
If you do not trash that card, the Corp will win the game. Yeah. Because you are taking away one of your winning strategies against the Corp, which is them getting agendas that they cannot score.
Yeah, they're just going to bottom every agenda.
They're just taking whatever tools they need to make it possible to score an agenda. They'll get it whenever they need it.
All right, well, let's look at this. We got some tech. We've got Clot. We've got Film Critic. I see an indexing. So this could be an explosive turn one.
Gordie does not. If he does not ice R&D turn one, it can be pretty bad. You can see, and Clot's going to do some work here.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the fast advanced cards, but I mean, certainly when you see Engineering the Future, I think you've got to assume that there is a biotic lurking somewhere in the deck.
Yeah, if anyone else is confused, Gordie does this like big credit thing, small credit little thing. That big thing is a 5, I think, or 3s. I don't even know.
Oh, this is big. Indexing is going to land.
Oh, he chose to. This is interesting. Yeah, I think it's smart. You got to do you diesel first. Maybe you can get it. I don't know, another something. Maybe play down Data Sucker so you benefit that way.
He missed completely.
There's a Biotic, a Hedge Fund, Toll Booth, and then 2 other ice. I cannot see. One of them is Architect. It's interesting how he's going to have to place this because he's going to see all this eventually. He puts the Hedge Fund on top.
I'm interested he gave him the Hedge Fund.
Yeah, I think you give him the Toll Booths first. Make him lay it down, because then you know that ice is a toll booth, and then you can just face check it, make him either res it or not later, with maybe not 3 credits. Yeah, if that's the only ice there, which is probably going to be unlikely. He's obviously going to get the Architect as well.
Yeah, the Architect is definitely the one I would bottom first, but Hedge Fund's an interesting one because that does. If you saw the toll booth, if you get a Hedge Fund, he can pay for the toll booth.
Yeah, Gordie really dodged a bullet here.
Yeah,
because easily he could have lost 2 to 4 points there. Quite easily.
And it's funny because indexing such a powerful card when it was printed, but you see a lot of Kate lists not play the card. A lot of Shaper lists not even playing the card. But when that happens, I know this one bricked. Yeah. But it's a very powerful card.
Yeah, it's potent. Like I myself have not been running the indexing because I'm like, well, why not? Why don't I just? Because I'm playing prepaid Kate, so I'm like, I can just make hers for free.
That's right.
Like it's a 0 cost event. I'm going to see the 3 cards because then the server becomes too expensive to get through. But there's a lot of good players at Nationals who are running in one index as well in their Shaper list. It's a strong card. So he's going to go face check this Eli. Yep. Which is interesting. I'm surprised he made that run. No breaker out. Already seeing 1 Architect. You know, there's a lot of ice that HB can punish you just straight up out of.
Well, here's the good thing is he has seen Biotic now. He's seen a couple of them, so he knows, I think, what variety of HB this is.
Clot goes in the trash.
Well, he has a clone chip out.
Oh,
so that's where you want it. You want it in the trash where you can hit it at instant speed.
I know, but you can still, like, he has no MU issue right now. You can still install it for 2 and make him waste the purge.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think that's fair.
I think you still install because maybe he's also, I saw him draw an Opus as well, and so maybe he's like, I'm going to spend my turn to Opus.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Like his next turn might just be Opus take 6.
Yeah.
Which is very likely, especially because, Gordie's still setting up. He's got some time, and maybe he's assuming that there's no agendas in hand, and that he knows those 4 or 5 cards that are coming up, and then he can get aggressive when he knows it's going to be fresh.
Yeah. The good thing about indexing, he's seen the fast advance tools, but he hasn't seen any agendas coming down the pipeline. So he doesn't know how many Gordie has in hand, which is obviously the threat. But he can, if you're playing an Opus deck and you're trying to get Opus going, you do know you've got a few cards at least in R&D that are not going to be the agendas you need to draw, to where you have time to get some money and then get the breakers online.
I see an Alt-Art Fem. He did take the classic Opus take 6 play. Yeah. So he's got a Fem, a Hostage. Not sure what that other card is. Is it game? It can't be Game Day.
I'm curious if he's just playing the Hostage to get to the Film Critic, or if there are other connections in the deck that he's playing.
This is a dangerous server for Gordie. For Alec here. Does he want to take a stab at this? Because it could be just the one, beta test.
Sure.
Vitruvius in there with, an Ash, simple end the run ice in front of it. I don't think he's going to be able to get in, though. I think he has to just let this go.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing about playing against an Opus deck. If it's Ash, then at some point Ash is not going to work because you're spending all your money to use biotic labor. That gets very expensive.
We're going to find out what the hostage is for.
All right, let's do it.
Is it Film Critic or is it Katie? It can't be Katie. He has a Katie, though. That's interesting. It's Backbiter. He just broke the world.
Theo in the house. Dang. Oh, we got a reader. Ahmed.
Yeah, of course you have to read the card. Because you're like, are you really going to do this to yourself? And then the runner's like, yes, I am. It had to be Game Day, right? Is this a hand size thing?
You moved your max. I saw
Game Day. I was like, it can't be Game Day.
Yeah.
And it is Game Day.
Hey, I already feel good that I came to this tournament. Already. Match 1, round 1. Only a few turns in.
The chat must exploded. I don't even know.
We got Theo in the house.
Yeah, Backbiter. People in the trash.
All right, so we've got
what? You guys are like, what?
So we have got Sexy Man Adonis online, and so we've got that going.
Did he just draw the beta test, or when was it there?
He had a beta test in his opening hand. I can't see if he's got another one, but
he's got one now. I think that was an interesting decision on his part. Yeah. With the way the board was, I think he could afford to try to score that out. Instead of getting the Adonis, I think that early score could have paid dividends.
Yeah, now here's the problem, though, is he's staring down that clone chip and clot. And if you would have done that in the Adonis server, maybe he doesn't chase after it because he doesn't have any breakers. And maybe you have a shot of just saying, you know what, I'm going to let that one go, even if he plays the clot, because then he has a protected server that he can't score it. But now, if I'm Alec, I'm feeling pretty good because I know that he doesn't have a protected server that is going to protect anything that he uses clot to. Oh, wow. So we got super server going.
Yeah. So it's a hard call because he could easily have he can lay down SMC, Stimac the server, get in there.
Yeah.
So maybe he was worried about that, which is a fear I always have as a corp as well when I think about what can a shaper do right now. Yeah. It's possible. So it's not so bad that the decon is actually going to be good because that Adonis is going to drip fully. There's no way he's going to go get that.
Now here's the problem, right? Gordie's starting to draw some agendas in hand. He doesn't have an immediate path to score them because the clone chip's on the board, and he's not putting any other pressure on him because he's got this Adonis going. Alec is just in this position to where he's got Game Day. He can draw all the cards. He's got Opus. He can take all the money, and he is under no immediate pressure. And as long as that Adonis keeps ticking, he knows he doesn't have to do anything immediately. He can just sit behind that clock protection. He's good to go.
He's at 12. I think I'm really curious where the toll booth went. I would have put the toll booth. Seeing the board now, I think you want it in that remote, and just put the agenda there and say go. It's on, but I think it probably is an R&D, right? I'm not sure.
And we saw a Fem too, so
my mind turned off for a few seconds when the Backbiter hit, so blanked out.
Oh wow! So let's see. Does Alec decide? He's used the biotic, so now he has the window after the first advance to clone chip in the clot. Let's see if he does it. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Brings out the clot. That's exactly when you want to make him invest that money into it.
He's got Cyberdex.
Oh, he got Cyberdex. Good play.
That's score.
Gordie set that up well.
Yep.
So the
play.
great thing is now
the trigger.
Do it. Oh, he is not going to get paid off. Gordie.
All right, we're going to watch those next 3 cards.
I'm going to have to do some coaching after this match of exactly what that agenda reads because it has a special ability that Gordie should have used but opted not to.
Yeah, just going a blank 3 for 2. Like, what's up with that?
Now Theo's going to start doing work. Theo Game Day is going to start drawing all the cards. And the good thing is he's got a window, Gordie does, where he's got money because he's got the Adonis coming in. But he's also, I know we've seen the other beta test, or pardon me, the other biotic labor, and he, while Alec doesn't have a clone chip, he's going to have another scoring window.
It's going to be quite interesting what's going to happen here.
All right, so using Jackson, trying to find that that next agenda, I'm sure, trying to clean up his hand a little bit.
Yeah, I think Alec is going to probably game day. I think that's why he's counting his cards, like see how many cards he's going to draw. So he's got what? 7. He's got 18 credits. He plays game day for 1, so he draws 17 cards.
I think it's only it's still 5, right? It's still I think game day is still.
No, you draw up to your max hand size.
Okay.
So his hand size will become 17 after he plays it. Well, he'll have like 3 or 4 cards in his hand.
Right.
So he'll draw like 13.
Forgive
cards.
My poor commentary. It is not every day that I get to witness the Theo game day interaction.
Yeah. Do it. Just game day now. Draw 13.
Yeah. I like drawing cards.
And then you're like, and then NBN's like sweeps week.
Yeah.
Go.
I would laugh.
But that, like, it doesn't really matter how much money they have. Like, what they could do is scorch you.
Yeah, it's interesting how fast that happens.
Actually, no, they could tag you. Then closed accounts would hurt.
Yes, closed accounts would not be fun. You know, it's funny how fast the game swung because without that cyber dex, I mean, Alec had a pretty good lock on Gordie in terms of his ability to score that next agenda. But you know, that's why it's so important to have. If you know that that Clot beats you. I am a big believer. You got to pack Cyberdex or something to deal with it. If it's going to beat you, it just slows you down so much that you can't deal with it.
I mean, Cyberdex is a strong card in general.
Yeah.
Like it messes up so many players. It turns off the medium. You know, they get a few cards. You're like, nope, you're not going to see that many. You paid for the server. Maybe now you can't get back in. They took away your data suckers. Yeah. Face check into an Ichi when you think Mimic will do it.
It's so good.
I've done that before.
That's my favorite.
Hilarious.
Yes.
I've got Mimic with like 4 or 5 data suckers. I'm like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yes.
Cyberdeck's going to happen.
That's exactly right. So we've got the Adonis is dripped out. So Gordie looking down, figuring out, are we going to use this as a scoring server? Are we going to get another robot online? I know I saw him drop another Adonis a little bit earlier. So
seems like Alec is just content just to take money.
And you know, that's the thing. I mean, when he gets enough money, we know it's a toll booth. You've got the FEM to be able to cheaply deal with that.
Yeah, that's going to be
and
really
you've got
good.
Another indexing in hand. So obviously the first one bricked, but you got to believe that next one is going to be finding something.
I wonder if he'll just go for that. Just hard cast FEM and just index again?
I mean, I think that'd be a strong play at this point when you've got Opus online.
Gordie's just going to like kind of semi-durdle, just set up his servers.
But man, that game day is so tough to pass up. I mean, why not draw
all
the cards?
He's going to do it. I guarantee you, click 1 and 2 is game day.
Yeah,
come on, game day.
Draw the cards.
So good.
All right, we gotta do some counting.
I bet it's the first time Gordie, even me, has experienced someone game day for any amount of cards. Like this high.
Read this
one
closely.
There's like this Chameleon, Gordian Blade, more Opus, Inti. He's got like every shaper, Hyperdrive. He's got every shaper card.
The cards.
Like
all
the
game days, Leprechaun,
Legwork.
All of them.
How is he
just
doing?
draw them all.
Faust. What? He gets every card in the deck.
Just all of the cards.
It's just ridiculous.
All of them.
This deck is insane.
Faust.
What's not Faust? This makes so much sense.
Of course you put out
game
Faust.
days for 20
you
cards.
have all the cards.
I have all the cards. I could break your curtain wall 5 times. I'll do that. What is this guy?
This is
hilarious.
Deck. Well, I got to tell you, as much as I
this
think Toll Booth is a great card, Toll Booth is
Toll Booth actually is going to do a lot of work
amazing.
here. Yeah, no, it's actually pretty good. He has to pay 2 to pump, and then pay 3 credits. That's quite expensive.
But don't you think like you said, you just hard play out the FEM?
Yeah. He'll probably face check into it.
Work.
He might not even break it. He'll be like, he'll face check it. I'll lose 3. Hard cast FEM. Go back.
I think at this point,
let's see, just straight up indexes. I don't know. Because like Opus is so interesting. You have all this money, but you have to keep clicking for it. So it's kind of like it's a give and take.
I think in one of those 8 million cards I saw Alec draw, I think I saw a legwork. I think a legwork play may be fine just to try and flush out the hand to see if Gordie is holding on to any agendas. Because I do think if I'm in Alec's seat, that's my biggest worry is that he's got enough agendas to win in hand. Because clearly Alec can go to R&D with Faust and FEM. There's not going to be anything that really stops him until Gordie invests more into protecting himself.
I'm a little I'm not too happy about this, but I think he just took money.
Yeah.
The last 2 clicks. I think you want to, like, pounce it a little bit, because now you just played your big play, you game dayed, and now you had an opportunity. Maybe he just took money once. I'm not sure. Because I just saw him pull out some credits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I think you'd want to take a stab somewhere. I don't know. They're doing something. Something's happening. Gordie's not mandatory drawing. Maybe he's discarding. Oh, he has to discard.
Yeah, I would be trying to set up. I saw he's got an indexing in hand. He's got a maker's eye. I would be trying to personally do everything I could. He's got enough money. He's got enough cards at this point. Set up that indexing maker's eye play. I just feel like you could win the game on the spot or come close to it. And that just seems like such a strong play with the board he's set up at this point. Yeah,
he's actually in a good spot. R&D is definitely one of the weakest places because Gordie has chose to invest in his remote server early in HQ. Is he running the server?
Yeah, so he's going the remote.
With Faust. So he's going to get in.
Kronos. Okay, so we got something lurking there that is going to be dangerous if he leaves it out there. Because, clearly this is a deck that – I saw a Levy earlier. This is a deck that wants to cycle itself and play some more cards. It's not going to be devastating.
He 5 into the trace.
Yeah. I don't know. I may just give up on that one.
And he's going to pay it. So his hand side is going to be hurt by this. He's going to access there first.
Yep.
Steal the Kronos.
Do you even care about the Ash at this point? I guess you're there.
You have to get rid of the Ash.
Yeah.
It's going to always be there. It's going to annoy you.
Well, good save getting that Kronos protocol or Kronos project off the table. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have devastated him if it landed, but it's just one of those where knowing that you need cards to fuel Faust, it's a good play to be able to get that off the board, especially since
actually Alec took a pretty big hit there as well. Like, he went down to 8 credits, so now he's going to have to discard down pretty hard.
Yeah.
Tosses a Film Critic. Guess that's fair. It's really going to help against NAPD here. Yeah. That's fine. It's going to take him a click to install, click. Like, he's not, that's all right. That's fine.
Yeah, I think the relevant cards, you want the clone chip.
Toss Hyperdriver.
You want the next, you want at least one game day. You don't need 2 game days. I saw him with 2 in hand.
You're going to game, next turn you're just going to take money, probably take a little bit of money the next turn as well, probably game day again.
Because I do think you need, we've seen the Cyber decks in the trash. Tough to say. You've got to assume that he may only be playing 1. So clone chip to turn on Clot is still a very, very strong play.
Yeah.
Quality time, I think you could very easily ditch. Leprechaun, I think that's a fine keep in terms of what he's like. Indexing Maker's Eye, those are the 2 relevant cards. And Fem, we see a sure gamble in there. So, he's going to be able to charge up again pretty quickly.
All right.
Yeah, I like the quality time ditch. I mean, you've got game day that is going to draw you way more cards for way less.
Yeah.
So Gordie just trying to, I'm sure, recover and figure out what the heck just happened.
Yeah. He's a little, I would be a little awestruck as well.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a deck I had not played.
Theo just comboing off on the other side.
Because recently, apparently this deck is something well known.
Yeah.
Because Kalimsha in the chat's talking about how knows the deck list almost verbatim, apparently. So it must be a known deck.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but I've not seen it in the flesh actually being played out.
It's going to be quite interesting. And Gordie's trying to think about what's the best play here. I think right now, if you have an agenda,
you got to get that.
You want to get that out ASAP.
You know when you've seen that many cards, you know there's another clone chip that is going to make it that much harder to score the next one. And when you've got Faust Magnum Opus, I mean, there is no reason that you should believe that remote is going to be able to serve as long-term protection when your opponent can get the money advantage pretty quickly. Katie's interesting. I don't know if I like her and Magnum in the same deck.
Yeah, it's like, so he's going to do click Katie. He's going to load up. All right.
I mean, that's part of the beauty of Chaos Theory, right, is that she can just play Opus and Breakers, doesn't mess around, very little setup needed.
Yeah, I don't want to do it in my head right now because I'm trying to like what are the efficiencies actually there. How many times do you actually have to load Katie? And then before, on the first install as well is the most important one. And then take off for it to be better than Opus. Like how many is that? It's going to be huge.
One of those, every Chaos Theory deck I've built is usually a Magnum Opus deck, and I just feel like the efficiency she gives you of not having to play out a bunch of memory to get Opus and Breakers online is just one of her biggest strengths.
Yeah.
So clone chip.
I don't know about the Katie. It might not even get clicked much here. Like he's got a good opportunity. He's in a spot where Gordie's not in the best in shape. So you want to capitalize on that if possible. Is that notoriety?
Oh, yeah, we got a notoriety.
This deck has literally every
all of them.
deck.
All
every
the cards.
If you think of cards in a deck, it's in this deck.
It is.
And it's only 40 cards and it has all this nonsense?
I will term this deck Shaper cards that I own. It is just a collection of all the finest Shaper cards.
Shaper cards that I own.
Yes.
This is what my deck is.
Featuring Faust and Theo.
Yeah. With friends, Theo and Faust.
So, I mean, at this point, the great thing about this deck, right, you're drawing, every time you're drawing up this many cards, you're drawing into the next sure gamble, you're drawing into the next draw card, and you've got clone chips. So, I mean, he's just in a very safe position where...
Question.
Yes.
What do you do if you see Deep Thought? If we're going to go to Shaper cards I own.
I'm going to take off the headphones and turn it over to you to solo this. I don't even know.
What else could be in this deck? I know it's not. I know it's not possible, but I'm just saying. Like, what other crazy card?
What's interesting is I'm curious the tempo. I mean, Alec's clearly trying to play a little bit slower, more controlling match. At what point does he just go for R&D? Because R&D has not been run since that first indexing turn.
Yeah.
And, he's not forcing Gordie to pay anything.
Yeah. And just clarify, when I say, like, crazy cards, I say stuff like that all the time. I mean, like, unorthodox.
Yes.
Which it is unorthodox, and actually can be a very strong play for the runner. To play a deck that the corp is not used to. Sometimes you don't know how to react. Like, even the other way around, playing a corp that you're not normally used to playing. I remember when, the Hardcast Fem is here.
That beautiful alt-art Fem.
Yeah, it's one of the best alt-arts there is. And Alec thinks there's an agenda in that server, and he's like, I'm going to make you...
what's interesting, I have not seen a scavenge.
What I think it is, it's probably a DBS being protected. No, it's a Eve. Okay, I thought it might be DBS. Fem. So hot.
The hard part is, obviously, we know it's a toll booth on R&D.
Yeah. I hope he has a scavenge. The deck cannot have a scavenge.
Yeah.
It'd be ridiculous. Like, maybe it doesn't because of all the cards you have to incorporate.
If you play Fem,
you have to have at least one scavenge.
I always believe in at least one scavenge.
I think that's a pretty... it might have been a preemptive cast there of the Fem because really you could face check it, and if it was, you can still get through with Faust. You don't have to use your Fem there. You want your Fem in the place where he's most vulnerable, which is R&D still. Like, that place can be really exploited.
Because we've reached the phase of the game. If you guys have played against Engineering in the future, there is a point in the game where if they start chaining off enough robots and assets to get money, they are going to be rich.
Yeah,
there is, at this point of the game, he's got an Eve almost going, and now you need to focus on making him res ice and accessing cards because he's gotten out of that early game.
Did Gordie forget to res his Eve?
Yeah, I think so. I would have gotten that going.
Yeah, seems not ideal.
Just drawing up with Jackson.
Yeah.
But Alec really needs to focus on attacking at this point.
Is it Vitruvius? Yeah, and to finish, like what I was saying earlier before the Fem incident happened, playing a deck you're not used to can really set you off balance. I remember when PE left the field for a while, and then he made a resurgence a month or two back. And really, when I first played against, I was like, oh, I forgot how to, to most optimally where to run, how to stay alive.
Yeah.
So here, playing this, Gordie just may not know, what is the best approach. It may be just, classic HB, but sometimes, there is a better strategy you're just not aware of because you just don't know the deck. Like, you don't know how to play against this guy. And, the threats that now Alec is presenting is very challenging. Faust breaks everything.
Yeah.
Like, literally, Faust will break everything almost. Except, Turing? Well, Turing's a thing.
Turing could be a thing.
Turing is a thing, actually.
That's the thing is, if I'm Alec,
I think Gordie and Blade's in the trash anyway, and he's got a clone chip.
Yeah. Alec's really got to focus on picking a server where he thinks he is most likely.
Maker's
this
Eye.
Is where you want it.
Yeah, this is going to be expensive, though. If the toll booth obviously is getting res, he's going to take 3 credits, 3 cards.
Yep.
Which is worth it. You have to do this. And hopefully he's playing. He's got 2 levies in hand. This guy wants the recursion.
Oh, he does. You want to cycle your deck.
This is intense.
I mean, you can literally, if you get enough money, you draw your whole deck with one turn.
It's going to be some hard choices, though. SMC is fine here. Notoriety is probably a good choice.
I like that. And get rid of one of the levies.
And huge mem chip. That's the big mem, right? That's the big one. 4 for 2? Ooh, hits.
Oh, nice. Good hit.
Oh, hits.
Oh, just
it's brutal.
Days. All right. And that exactly what
this
we were
is
setting
this
up
can just happen to HB. It's one of their biggest weaknesses, I feel, where they can just get really, their agendas are very easy to steal. Usually, besides the NAPD.
At what point do you? He's low on money now, so the next turn I've got to imagine he's scored enough points. He needs to recharge so he can set off that next either levy or set off that next big card draw. And this is I'm not loving the interaction with Katie.
Katie is actually a bad card here.
It's a non-bow.
It's not benefiting much as the amount of clicks he's lost because he took it off early. If you notice as well, right? Because now it's back at 1. It would have been just better to click Opus.
Yeah. Opus for 8 is a great turn.
I'm going to have to do the math later unless someone can tell me in the chat
Yeah.
how many clicks do I have to click Katie before, and I have Opus and I have Katie. How many times do I have to use Katie to be better than Opus? And like the time, it's also a time issue as well.
Yeah,
Katie's once a turn. Sometimes you need money now. So if you were clicking Opus, you would have the money to make the run immediately.
Which is why you play Opus, right? Because you say, hey, I need to levy and I need to draw up my entire deck again.
Yeah.
Opus take 8, max hand size goes up 8, got a bunch of money again. Yeah, and this is a tough part when you're Gordie, right? You're in this position where you got some agendas in hand, but you are just not in a position to score out because the threat of clot is still there. And I almost imagine, I mean, you can't see the levy like we can, but you're almost hoping for a levy to just get clot out of the trash to where you have a scoring window, because right now he's just stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Icing R&D is obviously a good choice here. I don't know how many cards are left in that deck, but you know Alec is now thinking, like, he knows that server. He's like thinking, like, if he has scavenge, he's like thinking about, I need to get that scavenge. Yeah. Scavenge that toll booth, go again. Get that other index or get another Maker's Eye going.
He threw away an Archive Memories. I almost wonder if you try to Archive Memories to get the Cyber decks back, because at this point,
he just took it back.
To him
How do you pick it back up?
Oh, did he use it? Oh, he was playing.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was discarding. My bad. But yeah, that's exactly what I'd go for, because that is his path to victory. I mean, he does not have strong enough servers at this point to try and conventionally score out behind ice. Biotic is his path to victory.
Yeah.
So just trying to kind of figure out the best path forward, I think. And he's going wide and building a lot of servers.
Alex's hand is levy.
Yeah.
Legwork.
All the levies. And I've got to imagine part of this is you've got to figure out the timing of the levy, because he doesn't have a ton of money yet, but a lot of his best cards now that he wants to draw are in the trash. He wants to recycle those sure gambles, wants to get another game day going so he can charge up hand size for Faust. So I'm curious at what point he is going to make the decision to levy.
Oh, wow.
Going to hit the hand.
This
might pay off.
He's got 2 cards, and he's willing to toss them.
Wow. Well, he might be trying to click Eli. All right, and Architect, I don't care about Architect if I'm him. So that worked out okay. I mean, he could put an agenda that's in his hand out on the board, but that is a risky play depending on how he chooses to break Eli. So here we go. This could be it.
How do you break it?
Cyberdex, okay. Not a big deal. I think he clicked Eli.
No, but how do you break Architect?
Oh, I don't. That's a great question.
He didn't toss any cards.
Fem.
Oh, Fem.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's a sentry breaker
as well.
It doesn't just bypass. It doesn't just bypass stuff.
About that.
Yeah. Cost 7 to
there we go.
There is game.
Good game.
Cost 7 to break Ichi, though.
Oh, man. We didn't.
I remember that.
I'm almost disappointed that we didn't get to see the levy cycle to the deck again, but Alec doing some work with the Theo game day combo, so that was fun.